Text messaging platforms. At this point, I've tried all of them. Batch leads texting, REI reply, lead Sherpa, smarter contact, and now launch control. In this video, I'll break down launch control and I'll show you what this platform is all about. Before we go into it, I do want to mention that there is going to be a link down below in the pinned comment for launch control. If you do like the video and if you do like launch control, if you want to check it out, use the link down below to support the channel. It's an affiliate link, so I really would appreciate it. So let's start with the first thing people see when they sign up for new platforms. It's pricing. Okay, so when it comes to pricing, you have three options, right? You have the light option that for $4.97, the core for $7.97, and you have a pro for $14.97. There's three major differences between each single platform. As you can see down here, the skip tracing for the light is 15 cents per trace, then for the core is 13 cents, and for the pro that's 11 cents. So if you're using, or if you're planning to use their skip tracing a lot, the pro will have better deal for you. Number two is that light and core come only with the option of having one market. When you have a pro, you can actually purchase another market. Market and launch control means that you actually have an option to buy another area code. So for example, I have an area code of 727, and that's the area code I use to market to my sellers. If you wanted to market in a different state or even in a different part of the state and you feel like you having a different area code will bring you better deals, you might want to go for the pro and get an additional area code. But don't be scared by all these numbers. The light plan is absolutely more than enough if you have you or even a fully dedicated VA texting, and I'll explain shortly why. Me, I have a full dedicated VA doing texting, and she doesn't need more than the light plan. We don't even hit our limit every single day. The cool part is about this pricing is that the pricing that you see is the final price. This includes the phone number, the text, outgoing text, everything else, everything besides skip tracing, of course. So with other platforms, you actually pay the subscription price, and on top of that, you pay other prices. So honestly, for all-inclusive price, this is a pretty good deal. But the third and the biggest deal between the pricing is the outbound messages. This is the biggest difference between the three platforms or the three pricing. So with $10,000 outbound messages, you get 600 messages a day that you can send to your sellers. And to be clear, these are the messages that you can send initially to the sellers. So let's say you've sent them the first initial message asking if they want to sell their house, and they say yes, and then you communicate with them. You don't go into that 10,000 anymore or that 600 daily anymore. You actually used one and that's it. So it's only used for your initial message, first of all. Second of all, when you use like a drip campaign, let's say they stop replying to you, you want to add them to a drip campaign and message them multiple times. I'm going to go over drip campaigns a little later in the video. That will not use those messages as well. That is exactly what I'm saying. You're probably not going to need more than a light plan unless you have a dedicated multiple VAs, or you have you and then two or one other person fully consistently texting. Then you might need to upgrade to core or to pro. Okay, the next thing we're going to talk about is the phone app. A lot of platforms, well, actually every single platform nowadays has a mobile phone app, and they're very similar in my opinion. But here, as you can see, I'm scrolling through my app. You can see I have to blur some of this information. You can't share personal information. You know, you can scroll through, you can see if someone replied to you, you can go to inbox, you can go to profile settings, you can see what messages were unread, what messages you need to reply still. So it's very basic. Honestly, there's not much to it. So it's my opinion, it's not the best app for mobile texting. I think Lead Sherpa and Smarter Contact, they have a little bit better apps, but Launch Control app does what it needs to do, and really you're not going to be spending too much time here. But this is just for you to get notifications when someone texts you and you're not at your computer, and if you're doing texting yourself. So this is a good app to do that. So I would rate it right in the middle between all of the other texting platform apps. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel, because I'm actually, after this video, I'm making a full tutorial how to utilize launch control. So here we broke it down a little bit. Next video, I'm actually gonna break the entire platform down step by step, what to set it up, how you have to set it up, what rules you have to follow. So I'm gonna break down the platform to you. So stay tuned, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss that video. Here you can see that we actually already reached our limit of 600 today. We're at 20% for the month, because the month recently just started again. And then we also can see what kind of a delivery rates do we have this week, this month, and what kind of lead breakdowns do we have. You can see all the leads here. So for example, let's go to inbox. Here you can see all the leads here directly. You can search them, you can filter them by like hot, warm. What's really cool, it doesn't force you to look at not interested leads. They literally, the moment you tag someone not interested, it removes it from here. If you do want to see them, you click not interested and it will pop back out again. At least it helps you to keep yourself organized. And as you can say here, for example, the blue ones are the drip campaigns, the answers that came in, or the ones that we've added to drip campaigns. And then, for example, here you can tag properties. So for example, you can do a possible listing, not right now, too high, sold, this and that. So you can tag properties on top of that. You can also create reminders, which is really cool. So let's say you want this person to be called or to be texted after a certain time. You create that reminder, create a date, and it's very simply done. You literally choose a date, set reminder, and now when you go to your reminders right here, it will say when you have the next reminder to reply or to message or to call. Everything else we're gonna go over here in a second, but overall, I would say the platform and how it's done, interface is very user-friendly. It's very simple. I think they could have done a little bit nicer looking. I think I like Lead Sherpa's interface a little better, but there's things that Launch Control does that is so much better than Lead Sherpa, and those things are actually much more important than just interface. Now let's go over what is the process of text messaging in Launch Control looks like. So when you start, you get to pull a list, right? And you skip trace. Let's say you don't use Launch Control skip tracing, you skip trace somewhere else and you want to import your list, right? So you're gonna go here, you're gonna direct import, you're gonna import your list. After that's imported, obviously this is very standard, you're gonna map it out, do all those things that any other texting platform will require you to do. After that's done, you go to campaigns, you create campaigns. So when you create campaigns here, as you can see, I have 11 campaigns that I have available. This is how I set up my campaigns. And then after you set up campaigns, it's not like you can just go here and text. What you actually have to do is go to batches. So you go to batches, you can see different batches that we have sent recently. And you can see our average response rate, which is like, 15, 19, 14, 13, 11, 10, 16, 19, 14. We have a 7, which is really odd. It doesn't happen often, but you can see for some reason our deliverability rate was very low, and there's 26 of them are still in queue, so they're still being sent. So hopefully we'll get more responses, and that can be brought up a little higher. Here, as you can see, 6% response rates. Why is it so low? I'm not sure, but it's the same exact list. It's a Tempo multifamily list. So maybe there's something I can look into. But on average, I would say my average response rate on this platform is about 15 to 16%, which is honestly fantastic. This is exactly why I switched, or why I love Launch Control. So I absolutely use it because my response rate is the highest it's been since I've been using text messaging. So I got a little carried away there, but the way you would do it, you would create a batch. You click create a batch. Oh, right now I guess I can because I'm at my limit. But let's say you click resume. This is how it would look. You would have like the phone numbers that have been sent or you need to send to, and then you just click here and you send a bunch of them, and then by the time it's done, it just sends it. As you can tell, some of these have still some in queue all the way back to like this one right here that we ran 2 days ago. It still has multiple ones in queue. The reason why behind that is because it honestly, Launch Control has this ability, and they integrate with AI to figure it out what are the best times to send messages to get you this highest deliverability and response rate. So I think, in my opinion, I'm okay with them taking their time sending messages when it's need to be sent. So instead of rushing it, because with a lot of other platforms, the moment you click send, they're out, right? So their messages are out there. Or let's say, for example, some other platforms have the ability of, okay, you send 10 messages every 10 minutes, right? Or whatever it is. Here, it's not like that. It's honestly unpredictable because AI calculates, okay, we're getting high blockage rate, so let's wait a little bit, let's do this and this. So Launch Control does something that none of the other texting platforms do. So that's why I love it. Integration with the AI and that the way they created their platform is actually really, really cool. Next thing that I'm going to show you is how the text messaging here works. And what I mean by that is that what are the templates? What do they require you to do? So here you can see the average template, or the starting template that Launch Control provides you. We've never used it because I went ahead and created 3 of my own personal templates. But let's just say you want to utilize this template, right? So here you can see what they do is they say, hey, first name, and that blue, If you see this blue on the screen, that actually means that they're gonna put information from the lead directly into the message, right? So that a lot of platforms do. I mean, every single platform that I've used does that, so that's nothing very new. What's new is this other stuff that's brown. What this is actually, it's a rotating phrase or words that you put in yourself. So what I mean by that here, for example, this first message, it says, hey, first name, right? Hey, John. I'm actively searching for, I'm trying to find. So for some messages, it will say, hey, John, I'm actively searching for. For the other, for, I don't know, Donna, it will say, hey, Donna, I'm trying to find. So it's the same template, right? But it's gonna rotate the certain words and keywords so that you get less blocked by carriers, because it's harder for them to identify that it's coming from a software like this. Even though it's legal to do what Launch Control does, they're 100% 10 DLC compliant, but it's still in the carrier's interest to block as many messages that are quote unquote marketing. I think it's so cool that they integrated this into their platform, into their text messages, because I think this is the single biggest reason why I receive the biggest response rate out of all the texting platforms that I've ever used. And there you go. Actually, here you can see my average delivery rate and my average response rate. So as you can see, my delivery rate is 89%, 89%, and 90%, and my response is 15, 15, and 16. It's absolutely fantastic. I mean, even when I tried on the other platforms, I've gotten up to like 8.5%. So, which I thought was great. And you know, most of the times I had like 4% or 5%. So 15, 16% is absolutely great. Next thing that I want to show you is the drip campaigns. Okay, drip campaigns, it's nothing new. Launch Control did not do really anything different here comparing to other platforms. But again, they use the same AI feature of rotating certain words or phrases. As you can see here, for example, I have 3 drip campaigns. When someone says they don't want to sell right now, someone that stopped responding, or someone that's not interested at the moment. Not only you get the regular drip campaigns, as you can see, like for 250 days, this drip campaign is gonna follow. But what on top of that you get to have this rotating messages every single time you send a message, rotating keywords, rotating phrases. So this is really cool because not only your original messages have the best delivery rate, but your messages with your drip campaigns also have the best delivery rate. So in my honest opinion, at this particular moment, this platform is the best one out there. I think my opinion does change as the time goes because some platforms do it really good, then they go bad. You know, there's a lot of things I learn about different platforms that makes me want to switch to a different platform. So I think at the particular moment, at the time of this recording, I'm using Launch Control and I see myself using Launch Control in the foreseeable future. So if you are interested in checking out this platform, check the link down below. As I said, that really helps the channel and I really do appreciate it. And as I said, stay tuned for the next video of fully detailed breakdown of Launch Control. And as always,